we give each other the space. She understands that like I work a bunch. She understands the larger goal of what I'm trying to do and sharing the larger goal, right? Like a lot of guys on the Twitter space are like, yeah, I can't be in a relationship. Yeah, I work too much. Like if your guys are aligned on what your goal and purpose is, that's actually attractive, right? Like, oh, he's working tonight. You don't got to worry about going to, like, he's out at the club texting girls or messaging girls. Like, oh, he's building his business. Like he's trying to build something serious, right?
Are you a Mormon and you're sick of door knocking?
Literally. Like
That'd be a good
I
ad.
would actually cook.
We're back
We're back.
with another reoccurring guest,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Red.
Mr. Red.
Mr.
Big
Red, welcome
Red.
back, bro. I want to start off hot, bro. We kind of talked about this on the last episode, and it was performing well. And so I want to continue the debate of Whop versus Skool. Why did you make the switch from Skool to Whop, or did you? Is that rumor true? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we're slowly migrating from Skool to Whop. I think the decision was less of like, I mean, functionalities for sure, like played a part into it, but I think it's like understanding the future of both platforms. So I've been on Skool for 2 years now, and I've never heard from somebody on the Skool's customer success team. We have 5 different schools. Like
What?
we're pretty high. Like we have a free school, we have a paid school for 2 different offers, and then we have another school for another offer. So we have 5 schools, and no one's ever
That's a lot
reached
of
out
schools.
to me. A lot of schools. And
Are your teachers armed at those schools?
no, they're not in Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard from anybody, and the only feature that's ever come out is dark mode. Like, what the fuck is that, dude?
Pretty sick feature though.
Yeah, especially when your phone makes it dark mode because of your settings. It doesn't even need dark mode. But yeah, and also like the school, it's not a community. Like it's not like Slack or like it's a forum. Like if I'm a student and I have a question to ask about like, you know, hey, I need some help in this cold call recording, or I need help on this cold call script. Like they don't want to like make a post and then like put it in there. And it's like, it's just not like a conversation. So engagement was lower. We have a community on Slack, which is our highest engagement because it's just how people talk. It's conversation based, right? You have different topics. With Skool, you can't filter the community stuff. So I heard about Whop, talked to the great salesperson.
Shout out to Hunter. Did you have Hunter?
Hunter and Ashley. They're dogs.
Guy's a legend, bro. He still follows up with me every single day, even though we've been a customer for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I was telling him, he's like, because we had a lot of schools as well, or not a lot of schools, but a lot of programs kind of spread out.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do we have to do to get cold email mastery on Whop or client ascension on Whop? It was. And I was like, nothing, because we'll never switch because Slack. And I was explaining to him the reason Slack works so well for client ascension is because it's a program for agency owners. And every single agency owner already uses Slack to run their agency.
Yeah.
So the fact that Client Ascension is like natively in their already existing workflow to run their business is why the engagement is as good as it is. And he was like totally fair. Like we wouldn't ever want you to switch off of Slack for that reason. So yeah, just understanding like the importance of community engagement to run a successful coaching program.
Yeah. And like, the only issue with our program is because we have Slack and we had like the Go high level memberships, Kajabi, where our course was. And that's kind of the same thing you have, right? You have Kajabi and Slack for Client Ascension. And the cool thing about Whop is that it's just all right there. So like, and as well, the team is really what sold me. Like, hey, you're a new user. Like, what can we do? I gave them an access into my school and they literally migrated the whole thing into Whop for me. I was like,
That's
holy
crazy.
shit, this is amazing. So just going above and beyond is how you get customers. Co-founders, Cameron and Steven, they like messaged me like, hey, like we saw you added like 120 users in a week. Like, I want to talk to you about how your experience has been using our platform. And they had them 2 and like 8 devs in like a room. And they're like, all right, like what's your experience? What do you like? What do you not like? What do you want? And we were always just telling, she's like, yo, we need more Slack stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you feel heard, and like things that I mentioned on that call like a week ago are now alive. Like that's what you want as a creator.
So since making the switch, what difference have you actually noticed in the community itself?
Yeah. So really good feedback from people moving from Slack to Whop because we don't have ours is sales reps. So it's kind of in their workflow, kind of not in their workflow. So if we were doing business owner Slack, we would never leave because like you said, but people are like, this is great. Like now the course is right here because before like you're just on Slack, you kind of forget about the course sometimes because you have to go in and log into something new. Now it's just right there. The course is easily viewable mobily and we have multiple chats. And for our offer, right, we get people jobs. They have a job board in Whop. So like, it's like a perfect alignment with our business model. It's pretty insane.
Where are you finding students from nowadays?
Content, organic, hopefully this video. And then we do a lot of paid ads.
Do you feel like these people are technically inclined or challenged? Like they have a hard time figuring out how to use the platform?
From like a Whop perspective?
Yeah.
I don't think so. We haven't heard any like negative feedback. We had one person who was older. She was like, I'm just a little bit confused. So we just built out Loom trainings for like, this is what this is. This is the intended purpose of it. This is what you should use it for. With like a Loom video, we just archived it. We made its own course, like a Whop trainings course within the course.
All right, so let's go all the way back. We had you on this podcast, like over a year ago at this point?
Yeah.
So I think part of the conversation last time that was like really interesting for our audience was like, how do you compete in a super saturated market of like sales training and placing setters, placing closers? Clearly, like you're still standing and you've grown quite a bit since the last podcast. You've had tons of success. So like just kind of looking back on the last year or so since we last talked on the podcast, at least, like what are some things that you've learned or you've done that have really worked for you in your business? In a competitive market.
Yeah. So, you know, everyone's like, oh, it's a saturated market. Like, that's not a bad thing, right? Like, you don't want to be in like a blue ocean where you can't validate things.
Where there's no demand.
Yeah, there's no demand or there's just too much TAM. Like, you guys work with agencies all the time building offers. If you have too many people to sell to, it's even harder to sell to like a defined audience because you can't speak. The marketing messaging is like not super targeted. Like, oh yeah, we like help every company ever. How do you target those people? Like obviously you can sell to multiple people, but I think the biggest thing is just focusing on product. It's really just focusing on product first, actually listening to your customers, listening to your employees, listening to the experience of the people who use the actual product, right? Like what do you like? What do you not like? And not having too much of an ego, right? Because in sales, you have a bit of an ego, right? You're a salesperson, right? I'm good at what I do. You know, I like to make money. I make commissions. I wear nice things. You know, you're never the best. You just have to keep learning and iterating. And it's an iterative process, right? Like we understand like where we get the best results and we're tweaking things and adding things into the offer. It's funny because a lot of the people probably from the last time we had this podcast was you kind of see people drop off.
Yeah. Ton.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a war of attrition.
Yeah.
Like just simply not quitting will put you ahead of half the competitors that you're facing today. One of the things that I have a question on, because we get this objection on calls a lot. I'm sure you get this objection the same amount, if not more, but people that come in having a bad experience at a similar program and just being almost jaded to the experience as a whole. Like, I don't know if I want to do this again because I worked with XYZ and it wasn't all it was made out to be. Like the scorned ex-girlfriend objection. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to get back into it again. How do you handle that on calls?
Just truly understanding why you didn't have a good experience, right? Was it actually the course? Because you guys know as running courses and agencies is that you guys are great, you know, but sometimes people, you bring a horse to water, you can't make it drink. Sometimes you can make it the most easily available way to drink it. But some people just can't be helped, sadly. So identifying if it's actually the program or the user, most times it is the program, I will say that, right? And understanding and kind of being truthful and honest. Like what we do a lot is like, we just invite somebody who's on the fence like that, just to our coaching call. Like, hey man, like just come see it. Like, get value out of it. If you like it, cool, join. If you don't like it, then cool, don't join. You save yourself some money. We save yourself the headache of a client and like not liking our product. Just see what we're all about. We have like, I don't know. I have a running Twitter on joke. I'm like random day of like posting screenshot social.
Yeah,
proof.
they like 46.89. I saw that. I
My
saw
dumb
that.
brain was like, hasn't that been that long?
I was like,
That's a good sign though. It's a good
isn't that
sign.
like
10
a
years?
decade? Yeah.
How do you manage like place it? Because when we did placement, we found that people would think that we were in charge of managing the person instead of them. So how do you manage that recruiting aspect of like, this is your employee, this is not our responsibility anymore?
I say it like in the first 5 minutes of every call. Like, just to be crystal clear here, we're not outsourced. The analogy I use is we're the wife, not the girlfriend. Because everyone uses the agency, the outsource model in the beginning, and then they're like, oh, this actually works. Like, I want to build it in-house and own it. So we're like,
yo.
yeah, we're the wife. So if you want the girlfriend, go out and date. But if you're ready for a long-term, serious solution for your business, we're the guys.
Yep.
And since our last time I was on this, we have a lot of back-end support, like scripting, SOPs, training, automations, tracking. We essentially give them like all the assets pre-built, and then we do weekly coaching calls with the business owners to make sure that the sales rep is actually producing.
And are these reps that you're teaching from scratch?
I'd say like 60-40, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, we have
cool.
this kid, Jonathan. He's like 18, and he made $25K in a month.
For what offer?
Coaching, inbound, organic.
Dude, the inbound organic is like, it's so easy to sell. It's like, hey, I already
Especially
like
when
you.
you have that authority, like with
Bro.
the personal brand.
Yeah.
Good personal brand he's selling for.
It is GovTech, like getting into a job training.
So it's probably high ticket too, I'd imagine.
Low ticket and high ticket. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. And their setters, the setters
Yeah.
close there. So they're able to make a lot of money quick in that offer because you're not waiting for someone to show up to a call,
Yeah.
deal cycle, close,
Yeah.
payment collection. So they have a lot of quick wins and then they have the big wins as well. So
On the topic of wives and girlfriends,
yeah.
since last podcast, you've recently been married.
Yeah.
We had a
the
great
plunge.
time at your wedding.
What a
bro.
night.
We had a great time at your wedding. I checked
plus
out
one
early,
right
but
there.
I heard you guys had. What did you say?
You're +1, dude.
Yeah. Wait.
He's +1.
What?
No.
You sold my girl?
No, you were my +1.
Oh, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
was my +1. Yeah. I got super lucky. Hey, yo. Careful, bro. I got lucky that night.
Yeah. That's incest, I think. You guys are related.
Yeah, we're pretty.
We are in
sad.
Florida, yeah.
But yeah, what's that been like, bro? What's married life like?
Married life is dope. I mean, the way that I look at it is like that's just like one thing that's just like locked down in my brain. Like there's no mental energy. I mean, obviously you don't just like get married and say, "Oh, I'm done doing everything," right? It's obviously work, but it's just like that's like my person, and I don't have to really think about that area. I can just focus on other areas. Know I have support in that area of my life, and someone, you got your ride or die.
Yeah, and like you said, like it's not something you just kind of put off. Like it's something you continue to work on. And I think there's like a lot of bad relationship advice out there, especially in our space, like very toxic
Oh yeah.
relationship advice. And
Yeah.
I've learned definitely from you just how you've kind of managed your relationship, even when you were engaged or in the girlfriend stage. Like you're so committed to like protecting your guys' space and your guys' commitments of like even last Friday we had our event for Client Ascension, and you're like, well, it sounds great, but I can't make it. That's date night.
Yeah.
That's like something you don't ever compromise on.
Nope.
So like, what are some of those non-negotiables for you, or some things that have, I guess I would say, have contributed towards having a successful relationship?
I think the same kind of principles in business apply, like just consistency, sticking to your word, like product first. I'm the product in the marriage, right? Like she has to buy me every day. You don't want to get sold, right? That's how you get broken up with. So keeping yourself in order, in check, right? Like make sure everything in your life is kind of, you're open for a relationship and you're willing to be in a relationship first and foremost. Because a lot of people, they bring their baggage into a relationship and then they're like, oh, this person's terrible. And they have like 6 bad relationships. Like you got to hold up the mirror.
It was
at
the
some
student, not the
point.
program.
Yeah, it's the student, not the program. There you go. But no, so I mean, we've known each other for 7 years, and I was not always the best product. It probably would have had a couple of chargebacks if the red hair saved me.
Wait, 7 years?
7 years we haven't known each other.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, like non-negotiables.
Day 1486 of being married. Engaged.
Yeah, day 1486. But no, it works. Like we give each other the space. She understands that like I work a bunch. She understands the larger goal of what I'm trying to do and sharing the larger goal, right? Like a lot of guys on the Twitter space are like, yeah, I can't be in a relationship. Yeah, I work too much. Like if your guys are aligned on what your goal and purpose is, that's actually attractive, right? Like, oh, he's working tonight. You don't got to worry about going to like he's out at the club texting girls or messaging girls. Like, oh, he's building his business. Like he's trying to build something serious, right? But like the things with date night, like we work a bunch. I would say like we see each other less than my business partner, like on a daily basis. Like I'll say good morning. We go to the gym together, cook breakfast. We go in our offices, and then like 7, 8 o'clock, we come out, we hang out for a little bit, go to bed, rinse and repeat. So having that intentional time on Fridays, it's just like, it means the world, and it's non-negotiable. Phones off, just you and me. We're hanging out. Doesn't have to be anything extravagant. We can sit on the couch, talk, cook food, dinner, go out, whatever it is. But just having that very precious, intentional time is better than like half-assed time throughout the week.
I think the perceived time commitment is the biggest misconception with guys our age. They're thinking like, oh yeah, if I get in a relationship, like I don't have time for that. I'm already so busy. But it's either one or two things. Either like you're in complete monk mode where like you're actually not talking to any girls and you're just focused on work, which like, yeah, you could probably spend more time on work, but kind of weird, especially if you're in like your mid 20s or like early 20s.
Yeah.
Pretty sus behavior. Or you're kind of going out and you're talking to a couple different girls. You're actively thinking about it. And like, if you're just a regular guy, like that's way more of a time commitment. And it takes up way more mental real estate. So like, even if you're not with the person, you're constantly thinking about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, getting in a relationship, actually, I mean, it saves you time, really.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're kind of just like the monk mode weird guy.
And the perks.
Dan Crowley, relationship guy.
I'm a relationship guy now.
And the perks.
Yeah.
Like you actually like build a relationship, right? Like it's not superficial. If you're texting, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I was like a Mormon before I found, or like, you know, like a goody two shoes. Like I was in a fraternity. Like I texted multiple girls at the same time. I had 2 girlfriends at one time. Like I've done all that. Yeah, I've done all that. And 100% recommend like relationship with the right person. Like you got to make sure it's reciprocated.
Yeah. Side note, Mormons, always good at sales.
Yeah.
They always do the door knocking shit. It's a good pipeline for your program. Start calling out Mormons in like the B2C ads. Guarantee you it works.
Are you a Mormon and you're sick of door knocking?
Literally. Like that,
That'd be a good ad.
would actually cook.
I might have to think about that.
That'd be good. Bro, when are we doing a golf video? You doing with fucking Daniel, not us?
I did with Andre too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, didn't we have to go into the playoffs on that video?
Yeah, we
went
had
into the playoff
extra.
hole?
We had extra holes on that hole. Yeah, that course was shit though.
Oh, it was terrible.
Dude, let's do a 2v2, man.
I'm waiting.
All right, dude, let's do it.
I'm the
You
best.
always wanna play
I'll
during
be great
shirts.
on camera, bro. I'll fucking drive your views.
Yeah, it is true. You can never let him on the channel. He wants to prioritize golf over church.
Yeah,
It's not matching the brand.
just golf on Fridays like me, dude.
I also can't get behind that one. I'm a Saturday or Sunday afternoon kind of golfer. Once a month, maybe.
Dude, Friday morning golf is the best business advice I could give anyone.
Dude, I can't.
Yeah,
Friday mornings are stacked for me. It's like closing out the week, meetings, making sure everyone's like not checking out early.
yeah. Well, it's just non-negotiated.
Weekends are
time.
better for like, even if I wasn't working, I would still be thinking about work, so it wouldn't be as fun. Whereas like Saturday, you can rip like transfusions.
Yeah,
I mean-
it's so chill.
How much work do you think of by 11 o'clock? A decent amount, but not like your day's not crazy by then.
Bro, for some reason, Fridays are like my busiest days.
Really?
Like the most hectic. I don't know why, but like everything just piles up for Friday and then it's just chaos. And then it's like the weekend is like, I'm numb. And then it's Monday again.
This is my crazy day. I have
Monday
four
or today's
1-hour
Tuesday?
coaching calls.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Damn.
Which one of them is Client Ascension?
Correct. But yeah, Friday I don't have any meetings on Fridays. It's like the creative day, get shit done day. Like
Yeah, that's nice. That's one thing I've noticed and always kind of like learn from you as well. Is just like how regimented. Like you're probably the most disciplined guy I know. Like, was that always the way you've been?
Hell no, dude.
Is that just like an identity shift, or like what is that?
Yeah, I mean, it might be a little bit just how my brain's wired. Like, I can just do things over and over and over again and not really get bored of it. I think the secret is just don't think too much. Like, just like focus on small activities, or like focus on the actual input, not the output.
Yep.
And just worry about like if I just do this thing consistently and like I look at it from like a 30-day perspective. So I write down all my habits in a spreadsheet and I check the box every day, and it's just simple. There's 10 things.
What are they?
Personal, 5 business.
Tell us, bro.
They change every month on
Okay.
average, but waking up at the same time, go to the gym or go for a walk, run at the very least, like at least 30 minutes of exercise a day, or golf. That's also in that spreadsheet. Read. I'm on the Bible right now, reading the Bible. I'm in Job, but that, and then fasting. So I do a 16-8 fast every day. That's really all I care about personally. Like, it's just wake up on time, read, go to the gym, and fast. That's it.
Yeah.
Business stuff, that changes way more. It's like create 1 piece of content or 2 pieces of content, or weekly, 1 video a week, follow up with all my pipeline and leads. I still do that even though I have a sales team. Right now it's like looking metrics like the CEO dashboard that you talked about in your event. I don't have a CEO dashboard, but I do similar stuff.
Yeah.
So that was great to see that. It's just like, just do the actual things that are required every day for forever and just iterate a little bit based on the season you're in.
I like how you said like you don't over optimize. You kind of just focus on like the inputs and let the outputs take care of themselves. And it's like, even what you just walked us through, even though there's only a couple of things on there, like 99% of people listening, and probably even myself, like I couldn't even stick to just doing all those things. Yeah. It's like fasting, like intermittent fasting, hitting the gym every single day, reading every single day, waking up at the same time every single day. Like, it's a couple of things that sound simple, but those are the things that people are neglecting and not doing.
The one thing I learned is if you break promises to yourself, you'll break promises to everything else. So it's like, if you're not going to keep a promise to yourself, then you're not going to be able to keep promises to girlfriend, wife, business partner, clients.
Yeah.
It's just your whole belief system.
So do you set yourself up for success in that sense with smaller micro commitments?
Yeah. Like I did the whole like cold shower and all that shit. The cold shower works. You just do something uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be a cold shower. The idea of the cold shower works, but it's just like doing the same things, tracking it. The tracking is really what makes the difference, because it's 30 days, the tracker. Each checkbox will calculate a percentage. So like, I did this habit 85% of my month, or I did this habit 12% of my month. How was my month? Objectively, how much money did I make? Yeah. How was the business? How was my life personally? And if I look back and I had a great month and I didn't wake up on time, maybe that's not as important as I think it is. So like optimizing your micro commitments
based on the actual results and not being tied to, I'm doing these things just because I want to do them and think they work.
Just because I saw a YouTube short.
That's a great one. One question and then I'll pass it back to Dan. We kind of got to share mics this episode, which is it's like usually things kind of like trend upwards. This is one thing that's kind of just trended way down.
I blew through the budget. We had a Red Bull and a cigar.
Please subscribe, donate by buying
Cigar
any
fund.
one of our products. They're all pretty good. No, we're just messing around. My question is, what has been either the most eye-opening or the most life-changing thing you've learned from reading the Bible? Because I know that's been a journey you've been on.
That's a really good question, man. It's just true. Like, it's the one truth in this world. Like, it's crazy. Like, all flesh is just not 100% true. And that's just one thing that that you can go to and be like, yes. You don't have to question it. You don't have to doubt it. Unwavering faith. And the stories and the lessons and the parables, it's essentially like Myron says, it's pretty much just the instructions for your life. And the more I read, the more I go to church, the more I listen to like students of the Bible, the more I read it differently, which is a really cool experience. Because like before when I started to read it, I was like, oh, I'm excited about reading. And my daily habits like read 10 pages a day. So my objective was just read 10 pages, right? It honestly has changed to like just understand one thing in the Bible. Because if I'm just reading to read it, I'm not actually understanding and going into like I said, I'm in Job right now, which is a great book. And how he had everything and lost everything and kept faith. And I was like, where am I having things, losing things, and then getting angry at things? Because like, if he giveth, he can taketh. Like, where am I not being like Job? And it's really just like holding up the mirror and reading scripture and reading it and reflecting on like, how can I be better, or what can I take away from this passage and implement? And I do a lot of coaching. What can I do to become better and be able to share that, right? I think that's the best thing is just like, it is what it is. And like, you got to interpret it. There's no, yeah.
Love that. I wonder if the saxophone is going to help with the retention on the episode. I could definitely hear the background.
Smooth sax.
Yeah. One thing I'm curious about, do you ever just hop on sales calls still? Like, do you enjoy just getting back into it?
I love it. I still take sales calls daily.
Explain to me your own sales team, because I know that you build out sales teams for all of your clients, but like, what does your current sales team look like?
So I do part-time closing. We have a full-time setter, another closer for automated revenue. And then for STR Whisperer and Whisperer Sales Umbrella, we have Closer Whisperer, STR Whisperer, Freedom Through Sales now. We've actually just changed that because it's mid-ticket. It's $1,500, $1,000. Our higher ticket's like $3,500, $4,500.
Does the $1,500, $1,000 ticket, does that require a closer?
So we did have it with closer.
Okay.
But a lot of people that are like, think about, you don't think like this, or I didn't think like this for a while. When you were 19 or 20, did you use your calendar app?
No.
Did you like hop on a Zoom call? I mean,
actually,
wasn't a thing.
For like Skool,
Dude,
maybe.
We were using Zoom like way before the hype.
Yeah.
Like pre-pandemic for podcasts.
I guess it's more apparent now, but like we had a low show rate.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the, like we have these texts, we have these videos, we have everything, like you got to do it. That works for other clients, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, our show rate just can't get over like 50%. It's pissing me off. Because I mean, it was like 90 something percent. Yeah. Same process.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe it's just these people just don't use the things that are required to show up to a call. Or they're booking calls because they think they'll be available at 3:00 tomorrow, but they're like, oh shit, I totally forgot I had this thing. Sorry. We have so many reschedules. So I was like, these people want what we do. We sell a good product. We have enough social proof to sell it to anybody. Like, just do full cycle. So now we don't have any setters or closers. We just have salespeople.
Yep.
So whenever a lead comes in, it's speed to lead. So first person that calls it, they just take it the whole way.
How many people do you have on that team?
Initial call. We have 3 right now.
Nice.
What do you mean take it the whole way? Like get them.
So like when someone opts into like our ad, goes into the funnel, watches the VSL, does an application through Typeform, they pings the Slack channel and it's automatic click to call. And that call is like the closing call.
It's pretty savage.
Yeah.
People close on that call.
Yeah. Some people don't even take calls. We just do text closes.
What's the biggest indicator that somebody is going to be a good salesperson in like the first month?
Either the number of questions they ask or don't ask. Like, so our newest closer is a beast, Savage. He comes from a different offer, so we kind of knew him, which helps. But he came in and he goes, he like asked for like these 6 things. I guess it's for his process and how he learns offers. Send him the 6 things. And I think I've messaged him like twice. He fills out all his EOD reports and he's closing at like 45%.
Legend.
Doesn't say anything. He's just like a machine. So like that's a little bit unique. You're not going to get that. But hunger, curiosity, tenacity is really the biggest things that I'm looking for, like intangibles.
Yeah, that's huge. I like what you said about like the questions they ask and the question they don't ask. I feel like all the good sales reps that actually perform that I've had, They ask questions that make me think a little bit, which almost like pisses me off because they'll chime in Slack. I'm like, I actually have to like think about this a little bit. Yeah. And then you get the ones who just come in and ask like the brain dead questions. You're like, my answer doesn't even matter. Like you're focused on entirely the wrong things. So that's a good point.
What tech stack do you guys use? Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, who cares, dude? Like that closer. So he was like between going with us and another one. And he goes like, why should I go with you? Because the other one had a higher base and like all these other things. It was on paper, pound for pound. That offer would be the one that I would have taken but when I was like in the sales role. And I just screen recorded on my phone, just our leads channel and our bookings channel, and sent it to him. I was like, this is it. This is like what you're walking into. And he goes, cool, let's do it. Because we get, I don't know, 30, 40 leads a day for SEO Whisperer right now. And he goes, well, yeah, that's pretty. I'd rather that.
Yeah.
Like they got to know the game. Like they got to like, hey, I can understand that like maybe I won't make as much money in the first 30, 45 days. But like the team that's here, the results this company gets, this client gets, they see the picture, right? They're not here for a paycheck. They're here to be like, this is something that I can learn, grow, and actually create an impact with. Like when you close them on Client Ascension, you're in the Slack channel. You can see the tangible result for your work ethic. Like, oh, dude, I remember closing that guy. He was on the fence about joining Client Ascension. And now look, dude, he's doing $20K a month. Like that makes you feel good. That's what actually makes you work harder. That's what makes you follow up more. Because you're like, not only do I make money from this, but I'm actually helping this person. And I can like be the direct contributing thing to make this person take a leap of faith on themselves and their business. Like that's cool shit. You want people that care about that more than what percentage of commission do I make? Like if we're doing that, you're going to make the money.
How do you think Jordan Belfort was so relentless when he was just selling bullshit?
I don't know real Jordan Belfort. We all know we know Leonardo DiCaprio Jordan Belfort more than anything else. I mean, I don't watch the podcast. I only watch that one where he's like him and Grant Cardone are like, hilarious. No interest is interest. Like that video. That's the only thing I've seen from Jordan Belfort. But I mean, it's belief, dude. It's like unwavering belief. He saw an opportunity in a market and he did it. Is it like totally kosher and PC what he did? No. But like same with people like peddling a Discord for a meme coin and pumping and dumping that. It's the same thing. It's just different time.
I think he was just a dopamine junkie.
That's who. And just a drug addict in general.
Yeah, I can't remember who said
a real junkie,
but
a ketamine junkie.
I was listening to an interview and he was talking about like how if you're like a real like gambler or like somebody that has like an addictive personality, if you can like channel that into the right thing, those are the types of people that make the most money. I think that's what Jordan Belfort was. Like he found something that he could just relentlessly use his degeneracy for profit. And he's just like, fuck it. I'm just going to take this as far as I can.
Yeah, because he probably would have been a great politician.
Yeah.
Because like the way to like he literally created droves of people who would just love to be in contact with him per the movie, right? Like all the people that were lined up at the door to work there and like what he got people to do.
Fucking head
and like, eating goldfish in the middle of the floor and shit. I don't know how real all that stuff is, but like that's power. Being able to persuade a large cognitive group of people.
I kind of miss that aspect with doing online business. I almost wish we had an office where we're just like cult leaders. That seems like a very fun work environment. I was used the right way. Why is that crazy? Look at no. I mean, just like literally having like soldiers work for you. Like I saw this video of Andy Elliott's team. And from the
shit's wild.
No, from the outside perspective, you're like, what the fuck? But like having that energy, I don't know. I feel like it'd be cool. Look at Valuetainment. Like everybody in there, Max who? Oh yeah.
Apparently I heard he can't sell cars. Yeah, those are tight shorts. The length is good. I wear thigh shorts. Those are tight.
His balls are gonna blow up.
Yeah, a little sus. I mean, same thing. Like, he's good at what he does. And he's focused on that thing. And he's successful. The fact that we're talking about him is a testament to how good he is at what he does in his craft. Do I like his craft? Do I agree with his methods? Who gives a shit what I think? It's obviously working because we're talking about it. And you could pull up his shorts in a millisecond. So he's doing something better than I'm at. Because if someone looks up Dylan Rich's shorts, you can't find anything of it. Or if you had to search faster than that. So he's doing better than I'm doing.
I have a collection in my phone.
Huh? You have a collection of your phone, yeah. But no, I mean, the in-person thing is.
I think it'd be sick personally.
I wouldn't be the person I would be today if I didn't start in a boiler room.
Yeah.
And like that environment.
And don't you think being the leader of that environment, you could foster a bunch of more people like you?
Yeah.
So that's why it's attractive
at all times. They see you, you're an embodiment, like you set the precedence.
Bro.
Like remote, it's what they see on Zoom.
Exactly.
And like the content they see.
And we know you personally, so we're talking about your discipline. We're talking about what you do on a daily basis. But if people are there in person, they can just see it for themselves, feel that energy.
Yeah.
And then you could create like this army of killers around you. That's why I want
lunches with the team or like happy hours that would hit.
Oh, we had some long drinking lunches, and we used to go to a buddy of mine, Sam. He's actually at the wedding, Sam Farr. He was him and his girlfriend were there.
I remember
his wife actually. Every Friday we used to go to Rick's Cabaret, which was a strip club in the city in New York City, and they had the best steaks. So like I would tell Mina like, yeah, we went to Rick's. She goes, why are you going to Rick's all the time? Like, and I was like, they have great steaks. She goes,
did you slop?
Going to the strip club
Sloppy?
Dude, they had great steaks. They had a $10 steak.
He has no idea where you're
Did they slop them up?
No, they didn't slap them up. Dude, it was annoying. They would just bother me while I was enjoying my steak.
It's so stupid because nobody
like, you want a lap
understands
dance? I'm like, I'm trying to enjoy my steak. Like, I have to go make cold calls in like 30 minutes, man.
You should just have the stripper do it. They're really good at fucking sales.
Yeah. I mean, not cold calling. They're better at in-person sales.
True.
But yeah. Like,
probably some fun
in-person
times.
stuff. Like, in-person's great. Remote's also cool because you have the freedom stuff. But
yeah.
From like your position, my position.
An office with a basketball court and a gym. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just such a big trade-off too because we're so fortunate to have team members all over the world.
Yeah. Imagine like Andy and Lucas in an office with us, dude. That'd be the most fun.
Oh.
Yeah, you would.
Well, the nice thing about remote is you optimize for talent, not location.
Yeah.
Because like our best sales guy is in Hawaii. He would never be in our New York City
Does he get up at like
office.
4 a.m.?
No, he works different shit. He works like 11 a.m. to like 8 o'clock.
That's still like 6 a.m. Hawaii time.
Yeah, he gets up early.
Damn.
We have morning Zoom calls. He's like, I'm like, good morning, Ben. But he also gets to spearfish every day because he lives in Hawaii. Because like he's done at like 3 o'clock his time, which is sick.
Yeah.
So it's trade-offs.
If we had Andy and Lucas, we would just spend like the first couple of months just installing like a real good draft Guinness machine. That would be.
We're doing Oktoberfest. They're down.
Ooh, Oktoberfest would be a lot of fun.
Andy and Lucas are down.
Great things. You went, right?
Dude, I'm going back.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's just so
it
fun.
looks like a great time.
So fun.
We should go golfing in like Ireland, Scotland.
Yep.
And then go to Oktoberfest.
Yep.
Dylan, are you in?
Well, if I do that before our honeymoon, I'll get castrated. So I gotta say no on that.
Almost.
I want to go back to health. You're a fiend, bro. I turn on my 18 birdies at Ireland and Dylan's like, send videos now. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I just started the round.
Well, dude, no, 18 birdies emails me every time one of my boys golfs. And I'm like, what'd they shoot? What'd they do? And I was like, Christian's playing golf in Ireland. I go, oh shit, dude, send me a photo, dude, of Link's golf.
That was crazy.
Where are you going for your honeymoon?
Italy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Based.
so flying to Rome, then Tuscany, and then Amalfi.
When?
We're still planning it all. Accruing AMEX points. We're getting close to
Smart.
We should probably get close to 1 million soon. We've been accruing.
Bro, didn't we talk about that like a year ago? Like get an Amex and start stacking these points.
Yeah.
Didn't you spend them on like golf clubs or something?
Yeah, I bought a whole new golf set on Amex points. You're like, that's a terrible purchase. I go, why? And you're like, travel's way better. And I was like, I'm an idiot. I spent like 400,000 points on golf clubs.
Yeah, because the point to money value for like golf clubs is like terrible.
Dog shit.
But for travel, it's like way better than if
Yeah.
you just buy it straight up. So I was like, what are you doing? Just buy the golf clubs at the store and then get points for the money you just spent on the clubs.
You can't talk about getting golf clubs, Mr. Andre.
You're making me want a new putter, bro. Damn.
King of golf clubs over here.
Yeah, this guy uses my old set of golf clubs.
I saw one Bob does sports videos and Bob peered this new Callaway driver. I'm like, I need it. It has to be good if Bob's peering it.
That is true. Bob is not good at golf. Yeah, new golf clubs is great. That's really all I spend my money on is golf. Golf, yeah.
Yeah, it's an expensive sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw a
I
video.
got the Pips and Pars hat, a little bit more of
I almost wore
business
mine.
stuff.
You see DeChambeau did a TikTok with a youth set and he birdied a par 5. I'm like, well, that's not the clubs. I just suck.
It's really
Bryson's
not
a
the clubs.
freak, dude. He has the weirdest golf swing too.
Yeah.
He also always chokes.
His
though.
putter is crazy. He like keeps his arms straight.
He's like he's a perfect example of an over optimizer though. Like he'll never be great because he's over optimizing for everything.
Yeah. And then you see Scotty's foot.
Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler looks like with a trip every time he hits
dude,
it.
literally, his feet don't even stay in the same position every time he swings. And he's won 4 out of the last 5. He's on
that's
like
'cause
one of the most dominant
in,
terrors.
He believes
Ryan
in the
Garcia.
big man.
Under optimized.
That's really it. Same one there. Ryan Garcia believes in the big man. Dude, Ryan Garcia fight was so interesting. I was listening to him today on the.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. That was hilarious. When he was on the podium. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
No, they're basically
They're
the
both
same guy.
religious.
No, but it's really interesting. Really, really, really interesting. Of course. But Ryan Garcia was on the podcast with PBD this morning. PBD's doing his event at Mar-a-Lago, like a sales training event, and he flew Ryan Garcia in. And Ryan Garcia is talking about how like every single thing he did leading up to the fight was all show. Everything. And he was like
I'm
so
stupid.
serious about it.
Stupid.
And
I'm
PBD
so stupid. I knew that in my head, and I didn't.
PBD
bet
had all the
fight.
clips pulled up of like the crazy things he did that like blew up on social media. And he's like, all right, what was going through your head this time? And he was like explaining it. And he was on the podcast with PBD, sounded like a completely different human, like totally normal, totally laid back.
I knew it.
And I was like, wow, like
I'm like, he's promoting the
such a
fight, but I
professional.
never thought to bet it more than $10.
that's like your smallest bet ever.
I did it here at the event because
$10.
that's all I had in my fucking account, dude. I just wanted some.
Dude,
some
I've never
skin.
heard him.
Don't
bet
spend it
that
all
little.
in one place, dude.
I don't want to talk about it.
What'd you get? 10 to buy an espresso martini?
I mean, it was 10 to win 55. It was cover my
But I've
McDonald's
never
drinks.
seen you bet only $10, bro.
I had it nailed down the whole story. And I
Now,
didn't
what you
bet it,
will
dude.
bet large money on, though, is when LeBron has
Next
the
time the
lead.
Lakers go up by 10 in the first half.
Yeah.
Bing, Nuggets.
Whatever. That's crazy.
Woof.
Did you watch that fight?
No.
That was a good fight, bro.
Yeah.
Cool fight.
That was a good fight.
Isn't it on that weird ass DAZN or whatever it's called? Like,
DAZN?
you gotta like buy a
DAZN or
subscription or some
something?
shit.
Yeah.
The Zin.
The
Yeah, we
Zin
just
is
did
the
streaming.
Zin is nicotine. To me, so.
Yeah.
Just stream it or go to a bar. I've never bought a fight.
Stream East.
Yeah.
It's always flawless.
Oh, I don't pay for shit, dude. I stream everything. So I just didn't know what's on.
Yeah. Oh, bro, talking about Zyn and nicotine. You've put some posts out there on Twitter of like your intake every single day. And one of our recent episodes was with Daniel, who is now having no intake. Soft. I agree. And now he's crying for help on social media, asking for what he can do to replace nicotine.
Apparently, the best option was
What would-
to
Knock your
get a
girl
girl
up.
pregnant and become a father.
That's kind of
Yeah, what
base.
would be your advice to Daniel?
When did you make the most money, and what were the habits you were doing when you made the most money?
It was when he was on nicotine.
I know. And like, I mean, for sure, it's not like I'm out here like do a fuck ton of nicotine every day, but it's also like if you're not gonna do it, then just like don't do it. And,
Dude, I
like,
still don't
just,
have a
like-
tolerance. I put in a Zyn today after lunch and I just went right to the toilet and thought I was going to throw up and then shit everywhere.
Yeah,
You're way too open about this stuff, dude.
I don't give a
$10 bet.
Christian will be at
I'm the
like
most
a dinner
open person
table
you'll
full
ever
of
meet.
people he doesn't even know. He's like, well, I got to take a big shit. Just leave.
shit. That was with us though.
I know. I get to see you doing that in any setting, though.
Yeah, dude. I don't
Like you'd
give
be
a
having
shit.
dinner with the president. But, well, got to take a dump.
Yeah, my nicotine
You would respect
tolerance is pretty high.
So
Pretty high.
here's my thing. If you're looking at different stimulants and different nootropics, nicotine has probably the like smallest downside. Like nicotine and caffeine. Like it's really not that bad.
Those are my go-tos.
So if you're like, oh, how do I get off it? You're like,
that's the dream team right there.
do you need to, or should you just be happy that you're not addicted to something far worse?
I feel like so for the most part, like if I'm not like working or like casually drinking or something or golfing, Actually, now that I'm talking about
That's
it out
everything
loud,
you ever do.
Pretty much everything I do, but
It's anything I do at all.
it's just like, I mean, I used to do real dip
Yeah.
for like a long time, like tobacco, right? For me, I think it's like, I like the spitting. It's just like something I like to do. And like,
Yeah.
it definitely helps you stay focused. Like, what's the worst? Adderall, which is meth, literal meth, or just nicotine?
Adderall's
I'll
way
take
worse.
nicotine. Yeah, meth's way worse. Or Adderall's way worse.
Smoking is worse.
Smoking is worse.
Basically everything.
Heroin's worse.
It's great, guys.
Yeah. And now they have like nicotine gum if you don't even want to like have it in your mouth. You just want to get the nicotine. So it's like nicotine is technically a nootropic.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of research on it. And definitely a little bit confirmation bias research of like what are the positives of nicotine?
He's got like he's got like fucking 3 Sixers in his mouth at once.
double eights is what I've been Lucy's.
If those UK boys are still alive ripping 18s, I'll be all right.
18 milligram pouches?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if you guys
I
have
had a
18 milligram pouches, DM me after this because
That would actually make me, I would,
Wait,
I would
hold on.
die.
I gotta see what it was.
I would physically die. Dude, that's insane. I feel like, but if you get to that point though, you have to have it or you can't function.
Yeah.
Like that kid is exhausted after he drinks a fucking Bang Energy.
It's definitely like a brain signal, like kind of like habits, right? Or like if you put yourself in an environment, you like
Golf,
think of
transfusion.
things. Yeah, but like when you see something, you change your environment based on that, right? Like when people are trying to quit bad habits, like, oh, I want to stop drinking. You can't go out and associate the people that you drink with all the time because you're just going to be more susceptible to
Yeah.
that habit, right? So it's like if I'm not in an environment where I'm used to taking nicotine, I don't think of it. Like on date night, I'm not like at dinner with my wife with a fucking pouch in. Just not like,
Yeah.
I don't even think about it. I don't crave it, nothing. But like when I sit at my desk and I'm about to hop on a Zoom call or I'm in like a gamma doc.
Yeah, there is something about mentally associating like
Yeah.
a substance with an activity that's super, super productive. Like a lot of times I'll be craving coffee like around like 4 or 5 p.m. And if I get the coffee, I'll just go back to work even if I wasn't planning to do any more work just because my brain is like, okay, well, you're drinking coffee, you might as well work.
Yeah.
Same thing with nicotine at night. Like if I throw in a nicotine late at night, I'll just open my laptop just by like habit. Like, I should be doing something because I'm stimulated right now.
Yeah.
Also works negatively, right? Like if you're just like, oh, I'm drinking, let's get in the trouble.
Let's
Right?
open the Hard Rock Bet app.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah, put $10.
I was right. I was still right. I don't give a shit. I made way more money betting against LeBron that night anyways.
That is true. Live betting against LeBron is. been
should we
pretty
talk about this?
fruitful.
Can't wait to text you in 2
LeBron at
days.
84
Nuggets
years
down 10
old.
at half.
Yeah.
almost single-handedly took down the defending champs.
What?
LeBron James, the greatest player of all time.
Dan. The game was tied up. Wide open 3. No one from here to the door for LeBron. Clank.
Clank.
He can't do it
Clankety,
all.
clankety,
He's just a
clank.
human at the end of the day.
Clankety, clank.
Albeit the greatest human to ever play a certain sport, but
He doesn't have the killer mentality. He doesn't.
look up the clutch time stats.
The stats. I want to see the fucking highlights.
Yeah.
The clutch time
I would
stats.
rather Kobe in crunch time.
Yeah.
I saw a Kobe video
Just-
today.
I agree with you because he's got the Mamba mentality. Rest in peace. He's one of the greatest ever.
Bro, there's just
If
like
you look
no
up the
highlights of
stats-
him hitting like a meaningful game winner.
That's false.
And you're going to pull up the
That's
Raptors
so
game when it
false.
was 3-0 in the series.
Oh, how about
Yeah,
Orlando
in
when he
a
went to the
best of
finals?
5 series.
Okay, the other one he has. So that's what else?
Just
So
like
the one where
six-
Kyrie, he passed it to Kyrie,
No, he wasn't involved on that play. He just stood on the side.
How about the one where he
or
blocked
Ray Allen got
Iguodala
the offensive rebound
from Kansas and the game was in California?
So
the
he just
bubble.
No.
Oh,
This was the block I was saying.
okay, LeBlanc.
The bubble is just domination. Everybody locked in one place. Who's the best fucking player on the planet?
PJ Tucker. Or
Everybody in
no,
a
who was it?
confined place, he
Who was
dominated.
TJ Warren? Looked like Michael Jordan in the bubble, bro. The bubble's dog shit.
Yeah, that's an asterisk.
TJ Warren had like 40 a game.
You know why
players didn't play the full season.
You know why
They
it's
had-
an asterisk?
had,
Because they were the number one
social
overall
distancing
seed and they had
restrictions.
0 home court advantage. So it's an asterisk, but if you look at the little key on the bottom of the page, it says harder than normal.
Bro, no fans in the building just makes it way different in a negative way. Like you don't have to face the pressure of it.
Dude, you would want fans if you were the number 1 overall seed. They would have had home court advantage the whole playoffs.
I'm saying going on the road against the defending like a opposing crowd is way harder than
they
playing
were the
in
number 1
fucking
seed. They would have had home court advantage in every series.
They would have had away games.
Yeah,
I mean the bubble was
They would've had
sponsored
more home
by
games.
China, which is in alignment with.
It does
with
line
LeBron.
up.
Let's get into this, all right?
They're like, hey, LeBron, just endorse us and we'll get you a ring, right? Then,
Did LeBron cause the lab leak in order to get his 4th ring?
that's a good thumbnail.
Woo Bron.
And that right there shows why he's the greatest player of all time. How many pandemics did Michael Jordan start? 0. He had to go play baseball because he had a gambling issue.
There's a lot of conspiracies about that,
It's true.
but he also came back and won
Flu game,
rings.
extremely hungover.
So
That's badass.
No, it's cool.
he didn't claim the excuse. He still won the game.
Meanwhile, LeBron's starting schools. How
Married his
I heard
high-
every kid in
married
that
his
school's
high
like
school
failing.
Sweetheart, dude.
I heard every kid in the school's failing
he takes in the rejects.
because he doesn't know how. He just like reads the first page of a book. It's like, all right, kids, read the first page. LeBron, have you read the Bible? He's like, yeah, like quote something from the first page.
He's got the most playoff points of all time. He'll probably have the most playoff
Because he's played
assists
the
of all time.
longest.
Is there not, is longevity not a, we talked about Dylan being here a year later. This would be like Stick Talk podcast.
Jamal Crawford played like 20 seasons.
million and Dylan's still printing cash. Is there nothing?
Udonis Haslam played 20 seasons. Does that count?
No, it doesn't count.
Longevity, bro. He's on the roster.
You know what's crazy? When he
What?
broke the scoring record, he took the same amount of games to score his first 10,000 points to score his most recent 10,000 points. Meaning in the first part of his career and
Meaning
this
if
part
Michael
of his
Jordan
career,
just played more games, he would have had the most points.
what?
Who averaged more per game?
Dude, are you stupid? Listen to what I'm saying.
Who averaged more per
that
game?
means there's 0 drop off from the first stretch of his career to the last stretch of his career.
Yeah, mid the whole
Jordan
way.
had a better prime. Agreed. He won like 6 championships in like what, 8 years or something like that?
Yeah.
He had a better prime.
How many finals did he go
But
to?
he got hit with FTC compliance. He fell off. LeBron's still here.
But he came back with a new offer, new number, new coach.
And he's still doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you're just not going to win this one, dude. He
have to
actually
give
was
him-
actually just voted still the number 1 player by his.
Jordan's
Peers.
great. Top 5 for sure.
Yeah, the NBA had an anonymous player poll, and Jordan was the best.
Yeah, top 5 of the 90s.
Top 5 of the 90s.
Dude. Oh my lord, dude.
Against the milkman and the mailman.
Guys out here winning NASCAR
the
races.
accountants.
I wish I was that baby that Jordan was holding, bro.
Bro, I feel like we get this argument in every single podcast now, and it's great. We gotta just culture shock the money Twitter audience.
I don't blame you guys. You know, like I was actually able to watch Jordan.
When you were what, like 4?
32.
You were born in 91.
Yeah,
So you were 5 in 96.
yeah.
I'm
But I got to watch him like growing. I remember watching that game. Yeah. Also, like Space Jam was like growing up. You know, like
Yeah, and
LeBron's
like the-
Space
the
Jam
Jordan
outdid the
shoes.
box office at Jordan's Space Jam.
I haven't seen it.
Really bad protagonist in that one.
Yeah,
Main character.
main character.
LeBron's Space Jam.
LeBron's son.
He's gonna be really good too.
LeBron's son isn't great at basketball. I watched him. I was like, please be like your dad so I can get another 25 years of greatness, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Just not gonna agree with you on this one.
That's fine. See, people can disagree and still be friends.
This is true. He's made me money actually the last 3-4 days, you know. So
Yeah.
Thanks, LeBron.
Dude, I'm hyped for you to go to Italy.
I'm hyped for it.
I've been twice. For Rome, like definitely worth doing the historical stuff and just like looking around all the culture. For Tuscany though, fantastic wine, really good food. So just do like a wine tour or something. And then for the Amalfi, do you know what city you're going to?
So I watched the new Equalizer,
Okay.
and they have that. I think it's called Atari, like the church on the top of that.
Okay.
I hope that's not CGI. It looked pretty real. I want to go there.
I've been
It
to
looks so cool.
Positano. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I
But-
have family in Italy. I
Oh,
go
really?
Visit family. Yeah, they're in Naples.
But get
I'm like
like
half
a,
Italian.
my advice for Positano or like the Amalfi Coast, everything's like really like stacked on top of each other. So just get like a really nice hotel because like you're not gonna want to be like you're gonna want to like go to the beach and then back, but it's like all like really
all
steps and
steps,
shit.
right?
Yeah. So don't go somewhere where you have to like walk everywhere. Not worth it. Italy's the best though.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, like walking into a town and like seeing ancestors.
Yeah.
Because other my cousins have gone there and they've all met the family out there.
You have people like around your age in your family over there or no?
I don't know.
Oh shit.
I don't know.
Be pretty easy to spot them out.
Yeah.
You'll just catch like a
Well,
little
actually,
redhead.
red hairs are synonymous with northern Italy.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I didn't get the beautiful olive skin, but I got the red hair. You know, it's good.
You have any
good trade?
Any mafia ties?
No, not that I know of.
Would have been
La
cool if
Cosa
you did.
Nostra. Yeah.
Cosa Nostra.
Rich. Yeah.
Pretty sick.
It's a good last name.
Is that Italian?
No, my dad's not Italian at all.
Oh.
They're English. So I have ties back to Abraham Lincoln, the Mayflower and stuff. We did like an ancestry.com. Yeah.
Oh, I saw this tweet.
I'm gonna make like an ancestry website and just has the sickest backstory, so everyone's like sharing
Dude,
it.
no. This is
Like,
exactly
bro,
what I'm talking
distant
about.
relatives of George Washington.
This couple took a saliva swab from a lizard, and it was
Sounds like COVID. That's how COVID happened.
No. And they sent it into 23andMe and got back the results, and it was showing like, oh, your family has this, your family has that. It's so cool. They used to like go like be like a nomadic tribe in northern Africa.
Yeah, it's a lizard.
So now I don't believe anything that they say.
That's the crazy thing about TikTok, dude. Is it like it debunks somewhat? Did you see the drumstick thing? Bro. You know drumsticks, the ice cream cones?
Yeah.
They don't melt. So you can leave a drumstick out on the table.
They taste like shit.
And
That's
it won't
why.
melt.
No, the
It's not-
bottom of the
it's
cone,
not-
though, with
it's
the
not
chocolate
ice
in it?
cream.
It's not regular ice cream.
So if you look on the thing, it says like frozen treat. It's not ice cream.
Oh, it's
So
probably
it
like the
doesn't
McDonald's
melt,
shit.
bro. Like if you go on TikTok and search like drumstick right now, it's like what the hell is in that shit, bro? Like wild stuff.
That's like you ever seen the movie The Founder? The McDonald's guy?
Yeah.
Was like his big change to save costs. He like changed it from being like a real vanilla milkshake to like fucking condensed milk, like dairy product similar to that. That's crazy though. But yeah, I'm always questioning like what's the end goal of these DNA companies? Are they going to just like use this for evil? Because they're not doing anything with information. They're just lying to people.
Not that you know of.
That's what I'm saying. Who actually controls it? What if you like go back and you like follow the org chart and
Probably
like
Bill Gates.
the CEO is Nancy Pelosi's
It all
niece?
goes back to Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
We're gonna get conspiracy theories. Like, don't get me started, dude. My favorite conspiracy theory. I mean, easy ones to debunk is like the moon landing one. Like, you can't actually think that we landed on the moon, dude.
I do.
How long did it take you to set up the fucking technology to record this podcast?
I don't even know if we're recording
You
right
think
now.
that they beamed something from the moon to a black and white TV set with an antenna, live streaming? You can't even do webinar jams sometimes. So fucking live stream a webinar, bro. Just the technological aspect, huh? I mean, to beat Russia to the moon, dominance.
They were in a space race with Russia.
Yeah.
I believe in the moon landing though. You guys send me some videos.
Dude, how many times have we been to the fucking moon since then with more technology?
You want to hear something hilarious?
I don't
about
know.
that?
I'm trying to.
Once?
I've been on this podcast twice, recurring. You didn't think that someone wants to go to the moon again?
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I need to look into the subject.
Elon Musk can't go to the moon
No, he could
with
definitely go.
SpaceX. Well, he can't go through the firmament.
Bezos wants to go.
They've never been back. The technology did not work, dude. You had like 8 channels. You had to smack the side of the TV to watch TV back then. You're trying to tell me that they live streamed from the moon
I'm gonna need to do my own research on this. but you're
without
making a lot of sense.
satellites.
Bro, they have all the space hubs in space have a camera on it.
Don't get me started on that one either, dude.
Oh, so space isn't real now.
If you read the Bible, no, there's a firmament.
Evolution.
It's in Genesis. There's a firmament. There's
You're making us
literally-
Jordan fans look bad, bro.
Yeah, where we stand on evolution.
What do you mean?
Do you believe in it?
Adam and Eve.
Okay. So I think we've got basically like a T chart where it's like
I mean,
LeBron
you can't
fans.
believe and not.
We landed on the moon.
You
There
can't
is
believe in the
space. There
things
was
that you want to
evolution.
believe in. The whole point of you have to be unwavering faith. You can't believe in some things. Be like, oh, well, Noah's Ark doesn't make any sense, so it can't be true.
Noah's Ark.
It's either all of it or none of it.
Mm,
You can't just choose parts of the Bible and religion that you want to identify with and be like, well, that stuff's not true. Well, then that debunks the other things that you do believe in.
I got to read the whole Bible. I got to do it.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm reading it, to have a better grasp and understanding of it. But like, I mean, there's just things as human beings that we're not supposed to
Sounds
understand.
bad.
We're just not supposed to know. And it's actually
So wait.
a freeing thing.
We could build an ark
I mean, there's
that
literally
has
scientific
two of every
proof
single
they
animal
found
on the
Noah's Ark, by
planet
the way.
Pyramids,
that
aliens.
floods the
Pyramids
whole
are aliens.
Earth.
You know they found
But
Noah's
we can't.
Ark, right?
We can't go to the moon thousands of years later.
No.
Pyramids are aliens, bro.
The pyramids make zero sense.
Aliens.
I was watching a crazy podcast about that, actually, that aliens are just demons. Yeah. They're just fallen angels.
What?
Yeah.
It's a lot to think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when Mario said he saw a demon?
That's a little bit different though, too.
Yeah. I mean, you can't believe in God and not
Yeah, if
believe
you're
in
on
Satan.
ayahuasca, it's a lot different.
No, that shit's real,
Like,
bro.
Satan is real if God is real. Like, the more that I get into religion and scripture in the Bible, like, the more these things become apparent. You can start to see evil in the. I mean, dude, there is literally more evil ever today than ever before. Like, think about all the crazy shit, like P. Diddy and like all the terrible things that are happening in the world. And like, there's got to be an adverse of that, which is
It's always been
But
here.
does that
No-
also
no
mean
one
there's
knew
more
about it.
good than there's ever been in the world at the same time, or does it not work like that?
well, the whole idea of evil is to make people not believe in salvation.
So I'm saying if there's
More people than ever are further from Christ.
gotcha. So the evil in a way is kind of winning.
Well, there's
But it always
two,
loses
there's
in the
two versions of you. There's a spiritual Dan and then there's a flesh Dan.
Okay.
And you're at constant battle with both of them at all times. Really good video is Myron Golden's Jacob and Esau. Shed a lot of light on that to me.
Yeah, I gotta watch more Myron. Every
I
time
mean,
watch
your
him, I'm like,
fleshly
this guy's
version of yourself
unreal.
wants to sin, loves sin, and then your spiritual version of yourself. Like whenever you're doing something that you know you're not supposed to do, you have that gut feeling. You're like,
Yeah.
That's the battle between spirit and flesh. Yeah. Yeah.
Self-destruct. Original sin.
Yeah. So my question, my
Sorry, I'm trying.
my answer to you is that you got to believe all of it or none.
Or
of it.
none of it.
Correct.
So I got to read all of it.
You can't dip your toe into God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole. That's what I'm learning. It's just truth.
What are your thoughts on Old Testament versus New Testament? It's all 100% truth. Every part.
I mean, a good thing that you can probably look at a lot of the arguments of like, is God real? Like, think about when he resurrected, and then the disciples died, believe like to their last breath that he came back, he resurrected. Like you don't keep that unwavering faith unless you actually witnessed it
Yeah.
to death and torture. Yeah.
Like basically like for people that are new to this, right? Like the Old Testament is before Christ. New Testament is after Christ was born. And you'll read a lot of the Old Testament and like question like why was God like the common theme in the Old Testament is why was God so cruel? Like God was like almost mean in the Old Testament. Like he literally like destroyed civilizations and like would not put up with anything that went against him in most cases.
Against the covenant, yeah.
And so that's where the gospel and the New Testament come. It's literally, as it says, good news. It's like God is not going to smite you for sinning because he sent his only son to rid you of sin and to give you salvation.
Yep.
And it's like, that's where like people get confused. Like, oh, if God, the God of the Old Testament would never allow this. It's like, that's the exact reason why Christ was sent to save us, and that's where the differences are with like Islam, right? Like the common belief is like Islam or Muslims believe like they can get right with God in the Old Testament and live a perfect life, which is just completely unrealistic. We can't because of original sin with Adam and Eve, right? And so that's where the differences are with Christianity and Islam. Is like Islam, it's through their own actions and through their own doing that they can get right with God and basically have salvation. Whereas Christianity, it's like we know we're sinful and we know our flesh is always going to sin and it's going to self-destruct eventually. But because we put our faith in Christ and because we believe in God sending his only son to give us salvation, we're gonna make it. And that's why it's literally good news.
Yeah. And like I just know this. The more I'm strong in my faith and the more that I give thanks and the more that I pray on a daily basis and the more freeing it is. Like I'm not the one driving the bus of my life. I can just sit back, be a passenger and just understand that there's other forces and other things in play that attribute and contribute to who I am, what I'm doing and what I will do in this world. And it's a freeing thing. Like stress and anxiety, you just pray and you ask for it. And if it's in the will of him, it's in the will of him. If it's not, then it wasn't meant to be, right? Like I didn't close that deal. Like it wasn't meant to be closed, man. Like there's going to be another one. Just pray and say, thank you for teaching me the learnings of that closed deal. What do I have to do to get better of that? And I can just say from personal experience of not being close to Christ at parts of my life and being much closer now. Thank you to my wife for bringing me closer to him. Life has improved in all areas, with
That's
just
awesome.
that one thing.
That's awesome.
No, I was just saying that was well said. I think that's a good place to wrap it. These guys are getting loud back there.
It's getting rowdy in here.
Like for the Old Testament versus the New Testament, it's like, again, Old Testament was written before Christ. New Testament is written after Christ. Read the prophecies. Like literally pull up Psalm 22 in the Bible, read it, and then tell me that the New Testament is not the truth. Like you can't. Like it's prophesized, which means it was literally it's like in the new movie Dune.
Yeah.
Like the Chosen One.
Yeah, I don't know. What are they? I just watched it.
Oh, bro,
It's
so
like
good. As it was said or something.
Al something Zahar or whatever they call him. Yeah, Dune was good.
Dude, it's so good, bro. But,
Yeah,
oh man, yeah, we'll wrap it there. Appreciate you coming on again,
of course,
bro.
boys.
We're gonna have
Thanks
you
for
on,
having
I'm
me
sure,
on.
multiple more times after this, and
There we go.
hopefully the
Yes,
audio
sir.
recorded this time.
Yeah,
Hold on,
let's hope so.